for talking to beIN Sports. You have outlined your plans for the next 4 years for the Football Association, your key criteria to win a major tournament. Thomas Tuchel finally going to be at the dugout and leading his team. What have you seen from him that makes you believe he can lead them to victory in America?
Yeah, he's already made a really good impact. He's established very good connections with our backroom team, integrated his support team, and he's already made a very good connection with a lot of the players as well. He's got a long list of 55 and he's built relationships with them, been to see them live, and look, I think we're all waiting for him to get going. I think he is too.
What's his identity, do you think, as an England manager?
Well, look, from our point of view, we just hope he'll be a successful one. I think he's got a really energetic approach and very dynamic, and we look forward to seeing that translated on the pitch.
A lot of talk of him being seen in Germany, not here. Where is his office and where is he living?
So he's working up at St George's Park and he's living predominantly in London. From our point of view, we employ him to win football matches and we're confident he'll do that.
Ben White, Arteta of his return says he's a special player on the right, a real talent. His approach, Ben, how important is it having a quality of a player like that in an England squad?
Look, I think we're fortunate enough to have lots of really strong players, and it'll be up to Thomas to choose who he wants to choose, and the more that are available the better, really.
Also looking to the bid to host the Women's World Cup. 58 years now, I believe, since 66. It's a long wait. How confident of that joint bid being a success?
Well, all we can control is what type of bid we put in, and we're really confident that we'll put in a really strong bid. We think it'll be brilliant in terms of having great stadia, great infrastructure, great commercial return for FIFA as well. And most importantly, we think it'll be brilliant for the fans. We can lay on a great tournament. So we hope to persuade the rest of the world that we can do a good job.
UEFA certainly appreciate the ability of Wembley and England to host major tournaments. Just had the Champions League here last year, the Euros over recent years. Why don't FIFA believe that England can host a World Cup? Is it the arrogance that this is called the home of the World Cup? Is it still that belief that England's a little navel-gazing?
Well, I think we hope they believe that we can host the Women's World Cup, and we'll look forward to putting forward a really compelling bid for that in 2035.
What's your message to fans that think that the FA's rather given up on the idea of a men's World Cup here?
I don't see a women's tournament as being inferior. We're really looking forward to a Women's World Cup and think we can put together a really, really compelling case to host that.
No, I certainly don't believe it. Over the women's thing, I think it's intended. Looking at that, Serena Wiegmann, remarkable, the only women's coach to win the Euros in 2 tournaments. Coming in a little bit under the radar this summer, is that ideal?
Well, I think we're delighted with the performance the other day when we managed to beat the world champions on our home turf. But clearly there are a few players who are injured at the moment, so let's see what squad we have coming into the tournament. But I know Serena and whichever players are available will be doing everything they can to try and defend their title.
Paqueta is going to face trial for the betting charges against him. You can't comment on that, but fans will question how strong the message is about gambling when there's so much gambling sponsorship around football. Some of that is backing off, but there'll still be sleeve sponsors. Sponsorship gambling adverts throughout pre-games, build-up, half-time, on the television. Does that need to change to send the right message?
Look, you wouldn't expect me to comment on an open case, and in terms of gambling, all we can control is what we have, and we don't have a gambling partner at the FA.
Refereeing. It seems to be a real concern at the moment, the aggressions towards referees, but also the refereeing standards in this country. Are you concerned about the standards, and what are you doing to improve the pathway?
Actually, we brought in a referee development plan last year for all levels of the game, and we're delighted with the number of referees coming through at all levels, and we think there's really good plans in place to continue to improve the standards throughout the pyramid. We
see in rugby the audio at every game, that you can listen to what the referee is saying. There's a great deal of respect because of that, but IFAB's still not ready to have that live mic released. You've been trialling body-worn cameras. What impact has that had, and could we see that in the Premier League?
Yeah, so we tried body cameras at a grassroots level to allow referees more confidence in terms of dissent. It's seen a really positive impact in player behaviour. There have been some moves to a trial in terms of body cams in the top levels of the game, and that's predominantly for broadcasters. and I think there's a trial coming up, so we'll wait and see what the results of that are.
A proposal to bring in a closed league in the WSL for a short-term period. Isn't this just the women's game being used as a guinea pig for an Americanisation of the game?
No, I don't think it is. We've been very clear we wouldn't accept a closed league. What we would potentially accept, if the WSL present a package of measures that's good for the game across pathways, academies and other areas in terms of minimum standards for the clubs, then we would look positively along that at a model that could potentially grow the number of teams in the league by having promotion but potentially no relegation to increase the number. But we'll wait and see what the total package is before we form a view.
But if there is promotion and no relegation over a short-term period, this becomes a success. Those clubs are able to financially ring-fence their seasons. That gives them a lot of stability. How easy will it be for you to overturn that if those top clubs say, we want it to stay this way? Because it would lead to a real cutaway from the lower league.
Yeah, so we wouldn't accept a closed league in the long term, and the reason is really actually, aside from the fact it would kill the dream for lower clubs, it would also be a challenge in terms of broadcaster interest after the halfway point of the season. But that isn't what's been presented to us, and like I say, the idea is continuing to evolve, but the idea so far is to have no relegation for a short period of time whilst there's promotion, and we think that could be a good thing.
And you would have the power to veto any wish for that to continue?
We have certain powers under our constitution and under the constitution of WSL, but we work in a really collaborative way and we'll see where we get to.
You have had great success in reaching finals. The Euro wins here will be the most magical memory for many of a generation of England supporters. It's so hard to get over that line, and reaching a major final for the men's was almost seen as a failure. Is that a success in itself, and how hard is it to get the fans up to believe that the men can get over the line?
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? After one final in 6 years, having 4 in 4 years, it's been fantastic. Look, everything we do is about trying to get to that final and trying to win it in both the men's and women's. It's incredibly hard to do, but we'll be giving it our best shot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carrie.